Hello and welcome, Catalina. It's so wonderful to be having this conversation with you today.
I am so happy to be here, beloved sister.
Yes. Well, before we dive in, I want to give us all a moment to ground our energy. So, everyone listening, I invite you to close your eyes if it's safe to do so. And to take some deep breaths. Allowing your belly to expand. Feeling your connection to your body right now in this moment. Feeling your connection to your breath. And feeling your connection to the earth. Feeling where your feet are touching the earth or where your seat is connected. Just continuing to breathe and let yourself feel that grounding feeling, letting yourself feel held. And from this place, as I open up the sacred space for this conversation today, I call in the guidance and love of Great Mother Goddess. I call in the guidance, the wisdom, and the love of our ancestors, our blood ancestors in our lineage, and also honoring and acknowledging the ancestors of the land that you live on. And in this moment, I want to acknowledge that I live on the unceded and traditional territory of the Okanagan and Syilx First Nations here in what's now known as British Columbia, Canada. And I give thanks to those first peoples, to the ancestors of this land that I am blessed to call home. Catalina, is there anyone that you would call in and acknowledge right now?
Yes, I would like to call in and acknowledge in gratitude the ancestors of the land I walk upon, the Maitinakak people, and also the ancestors of my own lineage in Chile, the indigenous first people that I have woven through my lineage as well, the Picunche people. And calling present the lineage of the blood mysteries, all the womb priestesses that have come before me and that come after me and that are presently keeping these sacred mysteries of mother's love, wisdom, and life within each one of us and within our beloved planet, presencing this lineage that we are all part of. Thank you, sister.
Blessed be. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes again. Joining Catalina and I. Thank you for opening that juicy sacred space. And I'm so glad you called in to honor the lineage of the blood mysteries and the womb priestesses that, like yourself, that are keeping this wisdom and mother's love alive today. So these words, I'm sure there's many women, many sisters watching, listening in, and when we hear these, maybe you're hearing them for the first time. Blood mysteries, womb priestesses, there's so much energy behind them. So let's start by, what are the blood mysteries?
Wonderful question. So the blood mysteries is an ancient and new body of wisdom, literally encoded in the female body, where we have direct access into the mystery, into mother, through our own bodies, specifically through our own blood. And that is regardless of what our blood is doing within our bodies, because that's also a common misperception that the blood, because for many women will equivalate blood mysteries to menstrual rights. And though this is a very kind of prominent part within the blood mysteries, it is not the only piece. The blood mysteries belongs to every woman from birth to death. And each season of a woman's life provides specific gates and rights through which to access the mystery and bring, the unique gifts of each of those seasons into the community and the planet and for your own benefit. So it is a mystery. It is a lineage of mystery school held within the frequency that you called in at the beginning, the frequency of Great Mother. So it is the ruby red thread of Mother's life that has given life to each one of us, that has given life to the universe, that weaves through everything, literally, and that connects all of us as women, that connects all of us to the first woman of the planet, back through our lineage, connects us forward through our descendants, and connects us all the way back to source womb of life and everything that ever is, was, or will be. So kind of vast.
Wow.
Very, very juicy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just feeling that imagery of the ancestral line back and the descendant line forward, and that kind of holographic expansion that awareness brings us. And I was intuitively just already placing my hands over my womb and breathing as you were speaking into that. And I loved how you said ancient and new wisdom that is encoded in our body.
And that's really exciting, especially for us now, because though, again, you may already know a little bit, don't know anything, but we, as women, we naturally resonate with these words, right? And if we dive in, even though we know they have existed in the past, and we can find, if you dive into her story, references to, moon huts and Magdalene mysteries and blood rites and all kinds of things, right? The blood mysteries, as they're coming through today, have never existed on the planet before. Right? The blood mystery, like any lineage, there's an essence, right? That is pure and eternal, right? That is the essence of Mother's life and love and nourishment. But how it expresses in any given time or place is going to be dependent on who is coming through and the medicine that is needed in any particular place or time. And right now on our planet, we're at a very exciting time because of the patriarchy, as we are all very, very well aware. This has been missing for a very long time, right? But the missing of that is also part of the journey. Because of that, it being lost and now being found, we are being able to bring it forth at a completely new vibrational octave that has never been able to be brought forth into our planet again. So this is not about going back to the past and retrieving something that has already done. Though we, of course, may look there for wisdom and inspiration. It's about opening up to this core frequency and how it's wanting to come through us as medicine for our time. How it wants to be expressed as a modern day woman in this planet at this particular moment. And it is the medicine. Like our wombs encoded core frequency is that of unity consciousness. It's the one place within our human existence where two distinctly different genetic individuals are held as one and experience their life as one, right? Mother is not separate from her child, and the child is not separate from mother, right? And that is the medicine we need for the healing of all the separation wounds that we are seeing kind of everywhere, right?
Yeah. Oh, Catalina, I got like full body shivers as you were speaking about how even the experience of it being lost, or it being suppressed, how so much of our wisdom and our magic has been forced underground, how even that has been a necessary part of the journey, so that now we're in this place of reclaiming, but that not to go back to the old ways. It's bringing the ancient wisdom into the medicine that's needed right now. Oh,
Yes. Yes. And what makes it really exciting is that, as is in the feminine, it's not through one person, right? Each one of us is being called to awaken and to remember and to bring through their own womb portals, right? The unique thread and essence and gift that you're here to weave into the tapestry of the new earth we're creating together. Right? So there's that beauty as well of this collective call to come together in co-creation with Mother. And one of the deep gifts that the Blood Mysteries brings is this deep sense of safety and trust in Mother and the natural unfolding of things. So it is so much easier to step out of the victim perpetrator dynamic, because you know that you're held and safe in Mother's love. And even what appears as a challenge, like a couple million years of patriarchy, when you are in unity consciousness, in womb consciousness, you can see and feel and sense the larger plan. And you know yourself held through all that, and you're giving the resources to navigate that. So there's a huge gift in that. Because I know a lot of us carry deep woundings with the patriarchy that are in the process of being healed right now.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Something, that you just said really struck me about how this is, at the essence of this is around unity consciousness. And yet you also were speaking about our unique frequencies and the diversity of our unique expression. And so that just strikes me as a beautiful, paradox, if you will, that we can be in diversity and uniqueness while being in unity. And isn't this what we do as priestesses, is holding the awareness of these paradoxes?
Yes, absolutely. Right. But that's also the point, even though, yes, we are one, right? Ultimately, right? And yet we've incarnated into individual beings. So there's wisdom in that. So why try to make one right and one wrong, right? There's wisdom in that individuality and that expressing through that uniqueness. And this, if anything, the Blood Mysteries is a path of celebration of life and embracing of all of it in absolute joy and wonder. Just like, you're a mother, right? When you look at your child, like there's just unconditional love, and they're just precious. No matter what they're doing, they may be, blowing bubbles through their nose, but they're just that. They are precious, right? And it brings us into that lensing in life, which is, again, a joy to be in.
Yeah. And, and this work, when you can't, the Blood Mysteries and the medicine that you carry, sister, is really, it's so embodied literally in our body. And it's very grounded. It's very connected to the earth. And I know that's something that I've seen a lot and struggled with is in the spiritual communities, is a sense of, wanting to transcend our physical bodies, and almost like our physical existence is a suffering. And there can be so much talk about, the 5D and there's beauty and there's wisdom in that. But I know that part of your work is just what you were saying, that this is a gift to be incarnated. This isn't a suffering that we go through to get. So I just love you to speak into more about that pattern that you're here to heal.
Oh, ooh. Where to grab that from? So many different possibilities. So let's start with, our moon blood, right? Our moon blood is literally Mother's love and life sung into matter, right? And this is what happens with energy frequencies as they become more and more coherent, right? There is a distilling naturally into manifestation. The more coherent the energy, then the more it can actually come into this physical form and retain its essence, right? So we are on this journey to express that divinity at this level of all the dimensions, right? So again, Mother in all her wisdom wouldn't give us a physical body if it wasn't for us to actually be here. And I feel like that's such a basic wisdom that has been forgotten. Like each one of us has incarnated for a purpose, right? We all kind of feel that as a truth within us. Yet how many of us fully arrive? If you haven't fully arrived, right, the fullness of your essence in your body, then how are you actually going to do what you're here to do? As much as you try to transcend, you're going to keep coming back because you never fully came in, right? So that's the first step. Like we are here to bring the love of spirit into matter, right? And into that realization that matter, and the word matter literally comes from the word mother. So it is a mother in physical form. So what if it's not about transcendence, but it's about bringing that sacred union at this very kind of more dense molecular dimension, right? What if the dive is into the arms of mother in matter, and that union that we're being asked to step into? And there's freedom there, and there's a rightness, and that's what I would ask the sisters that are speaking, that are listening in, to just feel this in their bodies, right? Because ultimately, there's no truth out there. It's always felt in the body, and the body knows. But when you can trust your body, and when your body is a place of love that is there to receive you and hold you, there's a natural relief and a joy that arises. And that's where love resides. That's where truth is, right? Where you can breathe more deeply and express yourself more fully. So I don't know if that answers.
It certainly does. There's just, it's a huge reframing about, that's totally in contrast to how we are conditioned, especially as women, to relate to our bodies, and especially in how we relate to our monthly cycles, right? Like, it used to be called like the monthly curse, and maybe it still is with some people, I don't know. So it's just that whole idea of like, life is suffering, and, like the body is, and even, the wounding from different religions as woman being, original sin. Like we've taken that in, even myself that wasn't raised within a religion, I still absorbed that from out in the world, media, books. Like I was aware of that. And even as much as I was like, heck no, that's not right, it's still playing in the background. So what you're sharing here today is, it's revolutionary, it's radical that we can be in this body and understand it as a gift, that, even the expression that, again, in different communities can feel cliche of like, our body is a temple. Our moon blood is a gift. It's sacred. These things, like when we really feel the resonance and the meaning of those words, it's so powerful.
It is. It's tremendously powerful, and this is one of the reasons I've really dedicated to kind of sharing more about the blood mysteries, because it has such a profound impact on us individually and collectively. Because again, so much of our wounding, as individuals, right, also in terms of past lives and the wounding we've inherited from our lineage, every ancestor before them, is at essence related to the core wounding that came in with patriarchy, right? So if you hold anywhere within your being any remnants of you somehow being wrong or broken or less than or inferior or dirty just for being woman, like that is going to have a huge impact on absolutely every area of our life. And the reality is, just like you described, as modern day women, right, we are, we reject this ideas consciously, right?
Yeah.
But if you dig deep enough, like there is a whole Himalayan mountain under there, right? Of programs and beliefs that we have absorbed, again, from our own life, from media, books, history, right? From religion, and then again from our own karmic load from past lives where we've been playing that same wounding out, either as a woman or as a man, right? Because we played both sides of the spectrum, right? But we've still been kind of in those same messages. And then we have, you know, the wounds of our ancestors. And I know we're in Samhain where we're connecting more to our ancestors. And again, each one of our ancestors has their own story and their own wounding. But ultimately, and I know you know this as well, Flora, when you work with women, you realize we all hold the same core wounds. Like exactly how it came about, like the particulars of it might be different, right? But it all comes down to the same. And the reality is that the moment that you can truly connect to the magic of your moon blood, right? And how just powerful and wise and magical it is, and the immense love that flows there. And you realize how amazing it is that you hold this and you are a sacred woman. Like all of that, you know, self-worth, invisibility, powerlessness, like any of the other things, they just fall away because it can't stand. Like once you touch that truth, it's like a sun. It just melts everything out, right? So you can kind of work at your not enoughness story or your victim story from the outskirts, kind of analyzing each one of the stories, or you can go to the source. You can go to tap into, you know what? Like life flows through me. I have a direct access to Great Mother and the life codes and the codes of creation of light from now to the beginning of time. It all can come through me. And, you know, and that's that. Like once you touch that, there's no going back.
Right.
There's of course still dismantling to do because we have, you know, repetitive patterns, but it's so easy just to come back to knowing, oh my goodness, I am precious and I am magical and I'm amazing. And not just me because I'm Catalina, but so are you, Flora, and every other woman out here. Like I look at every woman and I know in my being, in my bones, in every cell, you are magical, right? And that, like everything changes when you touch that.
Yeah.
And I tell you, sister, then, you know, when you realize that your moon blood has the capacity to regenerate any aspect of your being, it creates a full human being. It can heal and regenerate any aspect of you. The original, you know, shamanic journey. It's capable of creating altered states of consciousness, creating deep healing and catalyzing deep transformation, equivalent to ayahuasca, mushrooms, iboga, any of the other plant medicines, right? When you touch into that, you don't have to explain anything. It's there. The truth of just how powerful and how magical you are and how supported and how loved you are by Mother is just a felt embodied reality.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the biggest gift. It's not me trying to sell you an idea, right? You have a direct experience through your own body of this reality that is accessible to every single woman on the planet.
Incredible. I love how you said, yeah, we can start from the outside of, you know, trying to figure out the, you know, why do we have these patterns of core wounds, or we can just go right to the source. I love that.
And that's what happens. It's over a couple months. Like it's amazing how just engaging in blood mystery rites and connecting into these gateways over in such a short period of time, because these are such at the core of who we are as women, right? Just one reframe has a ripple effect that is just cataclysmic, right? And there's like this, it's
yeah. So I want to speak to our crones now that are beyond the you know the bleeding years. How do the blood mysteries work through us after we are done our bleeding time?
Crones have a very special place within the blood mysteries right now, and because crones right now have like a triple task upon them, right? Which is to One, heal their maiden and mothers, because most crones were not able to participate in these rites, right? The rites of passage, the practice of the moon blood rites, right? Because it hasn't been available, right? So there's the healing of that is always open to happen. There is the healing of the crone in herself. Wise woman has been one of the most maligned parts of womanhood as well. Like it was the wise women that were burned as witches and hunted down, and the elders that were taken down. And you know, the in our society, you know, wise women doesn't have a very prominent place. On the contrary, right? She's told that she's dried up, she's lifeless, she's useless. I don't know, this focus on beauty and youth, etc., all to, you know, all take her out of her power and her true beauty. So there's this place where the crone is being, and wise woman is being invited to fully remember. And again, our moon blood, and a wise woman still has moon blood. It might not be flowing outwardly, but she still has moon blood, right? Her moon blood within her body holds the remembrance of the wise woman blueprint of what a wise woman really is, and her unique medicine, and how she is needed right now, because wise women are sorely needed on the planet right now, right? And then what happens is that you know, each season has their own initiation to step into, right? And the initiation for wise women is menopause, which is actually finely crafted to prepare the vessel for the most potent of the seasons of a woman's life, right? And that's why, you know, pregnancy is 9 months. You need 9 months to prepare yourself to become a mother. For wise women, you need 10 years. So if you think about it, you need 10 years, because that's how powerful the change is, so that you can fully step into that level of power and communion with the mystery and mother. So there's that. And at that point, yes, the access into your moon blood is completely different, right? But it's equivalent to your moon blood isn't flowing anymore outwardly, right? But there are several stories that are really, I'm going to mention because they're really powerful. One is that the story is that your inner essence, your inner moon, right? At that point, because of so many turns around the cycle, for being bathed in moon blood so many times and absorbed the magic and the mystery, becomes more powerful than the moon outside. So now your moon blood is being pulled by the tide of your inner moon, bringing it back into your body, pulling it within your being, absorbing it into your bones, your tissues, and your cells, so that you become walking magic. You don't have to wait, right, for your moon time to come to practice that magic, to slip through the veils into mother, because now you are that. It's there, right? And what happens with a quiet pool, right? Because this is what happens literally in the endometrium of a wise woman. It's a very thin line, but it's there, and it's quiet, and it's still. So think of that chalice that is quiet and still. It is the perfect receptacle for the mystery. And anything dropped in there is going to have a powerful ripple and transmission. So yes,
makes me think of scrying on water, or like a scrying mirror.
Absolutely. Yeah. So those are the keys, and these are the keys that need to be remembered and awakened, right? I'm not wise woman yet, so I can't tell you exactly how to do it, right? So the wise women that are listening in, you are needed. You're needed to go through, you know, what has been remembered and activated, so that you can fully access your own direct portal into the blood mysteries, because you have it. And again, you're needed.
Oh, wow. Incredible. I'm so glad that you shared all of that. That's, again, some powerful reframing around you know, that stage in a woman's life, and just, yeah, beautiful. I really feel, and even in my own experience, so what I've directly experienced in even in offering guided ceremonies for maiden, mother, and crone, I've done blessing ceremonies for new mothers. I've done a few croning ceremonies for beautiful elders. And I have yet to do maiden first blood. I've had a couple opportunities, and then there was like oh no, I'm not sure, or and then it just never happened. There's still very much, I a resistance or an uncertainty, I think, around that. Of it's like some of us want to celebrate the our young daughters bleeding, but we don't know how. And yeah, just that's been my personal experience anyway.
Yeah. Again, there's our moon blood was literally the first thing that was attacked by the patriarchy. So the level of wounding and patterning that is there is tremendous. It's even with women that are desiring to go there and filling the pull, going through that mire, it's really, really hard, right? Because again, there's thousands of years where we like at one point in history, like again, the gaze of a menstruating woman could strike you dead. Like we were like equivalent to Medusa, right? It's like written in law. Do not let your bleeding women out, because if she walks between two men, like one of them will go blind and the other will die. It's ridiculous, right? But these are the things that are then imprinted into DNA and continue to pass down until we actively and consciously clear them. We continue to lug them around. So yeah, that's been the same experience. And this is why I am so grateful for these opportunities to talk about this, right? Because even with women that, and I've yet to meet a woman that hasn't felt intrigued by all this, right? But then actually taking the step to, okay, let me actually do something and remember, right?
Yeah.
Then it's a big, even though it's really not scary at all. Once you step over, you realize, oh my goodness, that's the first thing. It's like, why didn't I do this before? Why didn't I know this 20 years ago? Like that's the response I get from absolutely everyone. But that gap, can feel enormous.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know that there's so many women now that want to give a different experience to their daughters, or to have that different experience for themselves coming into motherhood, and so or cronehood, whatever it is. So it's beautiful, and you're right. It's so deeply connected to our feminine power, which has been suppressed for so long. And you were sharing with me earlier before we started recording that you are in your extra bit of power right now, Catalina.
Oh yes, I am in my moon time right now. That's a little at the end of it, but this is also what happens, and I want to share this as a possibility for sisters, is that you can live a life where your moon time is a source of joy and creativity and power and magic. And when she arrives, it is literally a blessing and exciting and just such support and nourishment. That no matter what your experience is right now, because I remember when I started diving into the blood mysteries, I thought, I'd been in feminine spirituality for a while, and I was like, I thought I was very happy about being a woman and that I honored my cycle, and it's like, there is a whole world on there, sister, where it's just unending, just gifts and treasures that can be retrieved and unearthed, and healings. And the other thing that begins to happen, as we were talking about, is that our moon time is wise in itself, right? So as we connect to her, she actually begins to shift and flow with the larger currents of moon and astrological dates and personal events to actually support you. So it stops from being this robotic kind of disconnected, just kind of cycle, into being this wise ally that comes in to support you and guide you and give you that little extra bit of power when you need it.
Yes. I love that. Yes, that has also been my experience, and of the shifting. And again, you've just added in another beautiful, seeing it as a wise ally. That's wonderful. Well, let's take a breath together, everyone. There's been a lot shared already, and I'm feeling like this is the right time to shift now into your guided meditation that you wanted to share with everyone. So do you want to tell everyone what that will be? Yeah.
Yes. So I'm just going to invite us into a simple grounding meditation to connect with the essence of Mother's love, which is the essence of our moon time, to start making that connection, right? And though it may seem familiar to a few of you, there is an added little twist of how this is done. So let's just dive in with this tenet, this truth within the blood of mysteries and within the Great Mother Temple, that it is through surrender that we receive, right? And what if all we need to do is surrender to receive, and we can let go of struggle and strife and doing and being, and just let ourselves be held, nourished, and guided by Mother. So I'm going to invite us just to close our eyes gently, come back into our bodies, feeling our sits bones connected to the surface beneath us, that firmness, allowing that firmness and support to rise up our spine so that our spine is supported, right? Almost as if Mother had a hand right there at the very back of our hearts that we can just lean back into just a fraction, just feeling that support there. And I'm going to invite us now to allow our awareness to begin to drop. If it serves you, you may visualize or feel or know a smooth river stone at your brow, allowing that to be the condensation of all of your awareness, all of your consciousness, allowing every part of you to coalesce and condense into this one focalized spot at your brow that grows dense and heavy as a stone and begins to drop down the midline of your body with absolute ease, like a rock through water. Just allowing yourself to go deeper and deeper into your being, simply through the weight of your awareness. And no effort required. Just feeling your awareness and this stone dropping deeper and deeper into your being, passing through your throat and chest, dropping into your abdominal cavity, allowing it to enter the vastness of your pelvic bowl until this stone is lying gently at the very root of your being, at your perineum, the very bottom of your body. Taking a breath here simply to notice what it's like to have our awareness here, so deep within us. And I'm going to invite you to see that beneath the stone there's a little plug, like the plug of your bathtub. And you're going to give it a little tug and allow everything within you to simply swirl down and out like water in a bathtub. Again, you may see this, you may feel it, you may sense it. Whatever comes natural to you, simply softening, releasing, letting go, and allowing everything within you to swirl down and out. Everything within your physical body, everything within your emotional body, softening into your mental body, and finally into your spiritual body, and just setting again that gentle intention of just allowing everything to swirl down and out. Let yourself be fully empty over the next couple of minutes. With every breath, empty, 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 fully and gloriously empty. And I invite you just to feel and sense what this feels like. The stillness, the emptiness, the relief. Of being empty and here. And then gently allowing your taproot to unfurl from your root, that very same spot where your body connects to the chair. a taproot beginning to unfurl down through the chair, through the floorboards, and into the earth beneath you. And again, no effort is needed. Surrendering into gravity, allowing the pull of a mama's heart and womb, her molten core, to bring you home. Simply softening, surrendering, and allowing gravity and mother's love to pull you deeper and deeper into her body. This is your natural place to be. Allowing that taproot to be pulled deeper and deeper through her layers, branching out, touching all of life held in mother's body. And that central taproot continuing to be pulled in absolute love by gravity and mother to her heart, her womb, at the very core of her being. And when you reach that molten core, allowing yourself to come home, feeling the warmth of Mother Planet, Mama Gaia, Pachamama, as she welcomes you back into her heart and womb space. Allowing yourself to wrap your root around a raw red ruby here, that you may feel fully anchored and secured in her heart womb. If it serves you, giving your root a little tug so that you may feel that physical connection between the earth, her core, and the core of your own being in your body. And from this secure connection, I invite you to surrender, to receive, to simply drop all control and open to receive Mother. What if there's nothing that you need to do to receive her lifeblood, her love, her nourishment? Feeling as you drop all control, all resistance, and simply open and soften to her with every beat of her heart. She is pulsing rich lifeblood through your root system and into your being. With each beat of her heart flooding you with the abundance of life, love, and nourishment that flows through her into all of her daughters, into all of creation, and allowing yourself to fully receive her, to fully receive the unconditional love of Mother, the abundant nourishment that is available to you through her love, the richness and vitality of her life energy as it floods your roots into your yoni, through your feet into your legs, and begins to bathe every organ, every cell, every tissue of your being. Again, nothing to do, simply softening and opening and receiving, allowing yourself to come back to that encoded wisdom within you, that there is nothing you need to do to receive Mother's love, that there is nothing you need to do to receive her unconditional support and nourishment. Feeling, sensing, knowing your root system to be that same tree of life present in the placenta. There's nothing for baby to do or be or prove to receive the unconditional love and nourishment that she needs. Mother simply overflows her with love and protection and embrace and nourishment, simply for being. Allowing ourselves to come back into that wisdom that we once embodied within Mother's womb, knowing ourselves now within Mama Gaia's womb, within Great Mother's womb, fully embraced, floating in her oceans, in her womb waters of life, fully loved, and simply breathing here, allowing yourself to be loved so deeply, so tenderly, feeling the joy of Mother as she embraces you, as she showers you in love and nourishment, the joy she feels in your receiving her more fully now. We're just going to take a couple more breaths here, allowing yourself to absorb all that you need now. Fully nourished, fully loved, fully renewed, knowing that you are never truly separate from her. And gently coming back into your womb space, placing a hand on your womb, a hand on your heart, anchoring this experience and this remembrance within your physical body, knowing this is available to you always, and that this wisdom is encoded in your own womb. And gently opening your eyes, letting a little more light in, and coming back into our space together.
Wow. Thank you so much for that deep experience.
My pleasure. No better place to be than in Mama's womb.
Yes.
Especially in the moon time.
Yeah. And I know we didn't talk about this or plan this, so I'm putting you on the spot, but is there a song that you would share with us, sister? Just feel.
A song. Yes, there is a song. All right. Prayer that this may be medicine for you, sisters. An exhale filled with pain, an exhale of broken dreams, an exhale from the suffering that longs for its final relief. Open your heart to me. Open every nook and cranny to be seen, to be witnessed, to be comforted, cared for, and healed. My light and my waters surround you. They rock you, they cleanse you, they heal. Release to me all of your worries, all your hurts, all your shadows and fears. I am your mother eternal, sweet comfort, safe haven, and always. I love you, embrace you, and guide you. Let go in me and be reborn. I am your mother eternal, sweet comfort, safe haven, and always. I love you, embrace you, and guide you. Let go in me and be reborn. Release, dear one, be reborn.
Oh, thank you. Oh, yes. Ah, such sweetness. Mm. 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 Well, sisters, we have gone deep today. There is much here, and as I know, with this, with the blood mysteries, and in some ways, we've only scratched the surface today, haven't we? Yeah, there's a lot. So, whew, I trust that this has been, inspiring and deeply nourishing, and probably very provoking, in a good way, for everyone who has tuned in. So thank you. Thank you to all of you for being here, the sisters that are watching and listening, and Catalina. Oh, dear sister, thank you so much for sharing all of your wisdom with us.
Thank you for having me, dear beloved Flora, and also thank you to every sister that is here, remembering with me, with us, the magic that we are as women and the depths of love of Mother for each and every one of us.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Remembering. Well, I want to share that in January, Catalina is going to be a guest teacher in She Spirals Temple, doing a deeper workshop and training activation around the blood mystery. So I'm planting that seed for anyone that is feeling the call, and of course you can reach out to connect with Catalina directly, and you have a free gift that you are willing to share with everyone. Do you want to say a few words and mention that free gift?
Yes, it's the free gift is it's a PDF with a description of a simple yet powerful offering our moon blood into the earth from this new vibrational octave with this reframe, right? Because one of the common misperceptions around menstrual rights is that it is a release, right? And this is something that really is needing to be kind of upgraded to the reality that our moon blood is a gift of life that we are offering into the earth. So there's a description there of, and possibilities of how to enter into this. So you may have a direct experience of the magic of your own moon blood. And this is something you can do on your own or in a group. And of course, the wise women of our group can always participate in this with wine that is then alchemically transformed into blood, right? Again, this is done in church every Sunday across the world. So you can absolutely do it in your own backyard. And it is just as powerful. So that is the invitation and the gift I will be offering.
Love that. And I can attest to, the power and magic of that ritual, since I have been learning from you about these mysteries for the last few months. So make sure you claim that ritual and learn, get that free gift from Catalina. Wonderful. Thank you so much for the work you are doing in the world. It is so needed. I just love you so much, Catalina. I'm really glad.
And I love you, sister. It's always just such a gift to be in your presence and to share the magic that we both hold, right? Each in our own beautiful frequency.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's the beauty, like you called it earlier, beautiful tapestry. All right, everyone. Well, blessed be.